I've definitely had my share this week of like emotional, you know, thoughtful feelings of like, oh, am I going to be a good mom? You know, I'm scared about that. I don't see why I wouldn't be. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'm not a mean person. Like, I love kids in general, but part of me is like, what if, you know, my kid doesn't like me, or like, I don't like my kid as much as I think I would. That's ridiculous, I know, but I mean, the chances are you felt the same way if you're watching this video. Just at different points, just have, it's a fear thing. You just go through every possible thing and hope that you're going to be good enough and you're going to do the best job and you're going to make the best decisions that you possibly can about health stuff and parenting and the birth and everything. And you just have to go with it. And I mean, that's kind of what I'm learning is I can't control this. I'm used to being able to control things in my life. Even with all these animals, it's pretty easy to control in comparison. But sometimes you just have to take a break. Sometimes you just have to stop. Sometimes you just have to do something completely different than you thought you were planning on doing. Because your body's in control. And when the baby's born, the baby's going to be in control. And there's nothing you can do about that. You are just there to take care of that baby. And I'm starting to get more excited about actually having a baby. Because I think originally that concept was so abstract. I mean, it's exciting and it feels real, but it's just, obviously you can't see my stomach yet. I'm 7 weeks pregnant. And I can't feel any babies moving or anything like that, so I don't know. But I'm getting more excited about actually being a mom and like having a baby and, you know, being pregnant, which is silly because I've always wanted to be pregnant and I think I'm going to enjoy it. But right now, I don't know if I'm actually enjoying it. I don't think I hate it, obviously, but I don't think I like it any more than my normal non-pregnant state. I thought that it would feel magical and all this stuff, but I don't really think it does yet. Only when I sit and think about what it means, I think that it feels magical. Or when Jason and I talk about names we might want to do if it's a boy or a girl. You know, so that kind of stuff. But on another note, yesterday we went to kind of an open house at the birth center that we're hoping to deliver the baby in. And it was really great. We got to meet one of the midwives. I've met the other two that are there, so I met a third new one that I hadn't met. And we got to ask all these questions, get the, you know, sort of rundown. I've already been there for 2 births, so I've seen both of their birth rooms, and I know the other midwives a little bit and all that, so that's good. But Jason got to meet this midwife, and I did, and we got to answer some more specific questions that I had about do they do breech birth and all that kind of stuff. You know, those kinds of things. So my list of questions was epically long. That's just the way I roll. So I really encourage you when you are looking for your place of birth, because we were pretty sure we were going to do the birth center, but we just wanted to confirm, you know, that you write a huge list of things that matter to you and ask them all, no matter what the care provider seems to be, you know, in a rush or whatever. Ask them. Like they're supposed to, you're shopping around, you're a consumer, you're supposed to be able to decide. And we were only there for 45 minutes, and I think the midwife was like, well, I have these next people coming. I hope they'll leave soon. I was trying to ask questions as fast as possible, but still, I was like, I've got to ask them. These are important to me. Some of these are kind of make or break questions, and I need to know, you know, what the policy is. You know, like, can you deliver at the birth center after 42 weeks if you happen to go that far? And the answer is no, just because of policy. And you can't really deliver there before 37 weeks because of policy. It's important to ask all these weird logistical questions. Just things about, do they require what tests do they require? Would they be supportive of you vaccinating or not vaccinating? Or, you know, what about if you don't want ultrasounds because we're not planning on doing ultrasounds? Are they going to be comfortable with that? Or are they going to be pushy? You know, it's important to ask those questions. And so I feel like we got to ask a lot of what we wanted to ask, which is really great. So I think this week, I've gotten better with eating. I mean, I've been eating, but I've gotten better with feeling like when I eat, it's real food, and like my stomach is actually taking it, and like my body is absorbing it. But I'm going to be excited, hopefully soon, if I start to feel a little bit less about certain foods, to try to get back to the way I was eating before, which was almost no bread, which I barely eat bread now, but I just, some days I'm just like, bread seems like the best thing to get my stomach to calm down, but I barely eat carbs or anything like that. So I'm really excited to get back to not really eating carbohydrates except some fruits, because I've really been craving fruits, and I think that's for a reason. I think I need fruits right now. Otherwise I wouldn't be craving them. And, you know, excited to get back into some more of the different proteins and fats that I'm used to eating, because lately I've just wanted ham and pork. And before that I just wanted like beef and hamburgers. I haven't wanted any poultry or any liver. And I used to eat so much liver, which has so many good things in it. So I'm hoping this coming week and the next I'll be able to get back in that zone kind of. And you know, because that would make me feel more comfortable. But I do feel that I have a lot of good nutritional reserves stored up, because I used to eat so much pate, so much, you know, just so much good fats and, you know, coconut oils and avocados and all these things. So that's what I'm hoping for in the coming week. We're going to be planning our first real, you know, prenatal appointment, probably right before Christmas or right after Christmas. So in 3-ish weeks or so. Oh yeah, and one more thing that happened this week. A few days ago, I started having a little bit of brown discharge, which made me nervous at first, but I called the birth center and we looked it up too. And both sources of information said you don't need to worry about brown. Brown is old blood. The midwife yesterday said that it might even be some of the old implantation bleeding just now coming out. If it turns red, then call and check, because that could be bad. It could be that maybe, not always, but maybe the sign of a miscarriage going to be happening. And if it's a lot, of course you call. And if you're hemorrhaging, like you go call the hospital. But it was nice to know that the brown discharge, which it's barely any, like when I wipe it's there, but it never ends up in my underwear or anything. I don't have to wear a pad or anything. So it's barely anything. So it's nice to know that that's not a problem. And the midwife said that I can have sex during that. I can take a bath, you know, all these things. So it made me feel a lot more, you know, a lot more calm about it. Cause I feel like I've done a lot of research and I sort of know what's happening, but it's my first baby and I don't know, you know, when you get in the moment, you go, oh my God, I'm dying. Everything's bad. You know, you freak out. And that's why researching before is so important. Researching, you know, during is really important, and trying to be calm about it and not freak out, and having a lot of positive resources that you feel have your best interest at heart. Like your midwife or your doctor that you trust, or, you know, a lot of, you know, maybe holistic, natural-minded research, if that's the way you roll. That's kind of the way we roll. So we already did a lot of reading about birth and all that stuff in advance. So it's nice to not be surprised when certain things happen. Be like, this could happen and it's probably fine, you know, so let's not panic. So that's the way this week has been. It's been good, but I feel like it's been so eventful, even though I've done physically much of nothing. But so much is going on in my body and my brain. And then I realized this morning when I woke up at, I guess 8:15, which was a little bit later than I wanted to wake up. And I thought, I sort of felt guilty, like, oh, I slept a little bit later. Now the animal's outside, or hey, where's my food? And I thought, wait a minute, I'm not ever going to really get to sleep in again. I don't think that's sad, but I might as well just not be guilty with myself about it and just go with it. I mean, if I slept late, it's not the end of the world. Like, once I have a baby, I'll probably never sleep late again until the kid's like 10. So I might as well just enjoy it and not feel guilty for not having to wake up. And, you know, Jason's going off to work and I'm not, and I feel guilty about that. And it's like, well, life goes on. Things are fine. I naturally am a person who feels guilty, like, oh God, I hope I'm doing enough. I just have to let go of that, because that's also a tension and an anxiety that I don't want to, you know, cellularly pass on to my baby, have them steeped in feelings of anxiety, you know, about, am I doing the right thing or whatever. So that's something that I think I'm getting better at, and trying to relax and just enjoy this last winter with Jason, this last Christmas by ourselves. It's going to be exciting. So that's kind of the 7-week update. That's what we're experiencing right now. And we'll see. I'm looking forward to maybe being able to eat more food and that, and I'll update you next week. Thanks for watching so much. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave feedback, or, you know, any of that. So thanks a bunch, and I'll talk to you next week. All right, bye.